And the title of the topic will be on healing your relationship with your parents and how we can manifest our dreams, right? So without any further delay, let me introduce Fabio to the team. Over to you, Fabio.
Hello, hi everybody.
Before
Thank you
that, I
very
think
much.
Ram wants to add something. Yeah, Ram, go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. So, hi, Fabio. So,
Hi, ciao.
ciao. So, it's such a wonderful thing to see you here, Fabio. So, friends, I just want to add how, let's say, our connection with Fabio is since the times we were living in Egypt. We met there in the meditation sessions, and Fabio had been a good friend, although we were not conversing constantly, but we had that constant connection. And Fabio then guided in his journey so many people in Europe and across the world. His journey, like Suresh had introduced beautifully, how he had been through various countries, various cultures, and learned a lot of healing techniques connecting to one's own self. And so I'm very happy, Fabio, that you had given us time to be here with all of us. So he had a busy schedule traveling, and then he had given us the slot. So very grateful to you, Fabio. And we are very, very curious to learn about the topic you're going to share today. So welcome. Thank you, Suresh, and thank you, Fabio.
Thank you very much, Ram, for inviting me and for the really nice words. Thanks to everybody for the trust, for having me here. It's really a pleasure. And today I would like to share with you my experience, my journey in this way, and hoping that this is something that can help you to follow with your path and to enjoy your life fully, because I believe we are here to enjoy, to grow, to evolve, and this is the important thing, trying to do this with a smile and with a blessing in our body, in our mind, and in our heart. Okay. So again, hi to everybody. I know that here in Europe it's quite early. It's Sunday. So thank you for the effort. And I know that there are people connected from other country. I send a lot of love to everybody in every country. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Fabio Bruscetta. I'm from Italy. And I have chosen this topic because this was very, very important to me in my life and a strong impact in my life and what I was manifesting in my life. As you said, I had the opportunity to live in different countries and now helping people in different countries well. And what I understood that people are seeking for happiness, to enjoy the life in every aspect of the life. That can be love relationship, that can be family relationship, social relationship, have a good connection also with material world. This is good. We are in a material world, and to be present in this world and enjoy what nature, the universe is giving us. And in my experience, and also the experience, the people I started to help in the last year, there is this strong influence from the relationship we have with our parents and what we are able to manifest in the world. So to understand better what I'm explaining, I would like to share a part of my story. I was studying in Italy as an electronic engineer, and my focus was to leave Italy. After I finished my study, was I want to escape from Italy because at that time I had a very bad relationship with my parents. This is reality. And this started when I was young. It started with a sadness because there were many conflicts inside my house, inside the family. And then this sadness increased and changed to be angry. And this is quite typical when we are young, when we are 14, 15 years old, at least in the European countries. So there was something inside me growing, and my focus was I want to go far away from my parents because in my mind, this was the problem. So I finished my study and I moved to another country. At that time was Austria. And I started to work as electronic engineer. And from outside, I had a wonderful life because I was working for one of the best company in the world. I was getting a lot of money. I was enjoying life. I had friends. I was traveling a lot because I had a good contract, which allowed me to go vacation, to go to other countries. But inside, I still had some problem, even if I was far from my parents. And in one period, I stopped to talk to my father. I didn't talk to my father because I was so angry. And people were looking at me from outside. They say, you have a wonderful, why are you complaining? Wonderful life, why are you complaining? Because inside, I didn't feel well. And while I was working, there were some problems. I started to have some problems, for instance, with my boss in the company. So some conflict with the first boss. And then usually with my mind sleeping, disconnected from the source, I was thinking that the problem was outside. So I said, this guy is a strange guy, he's from another country, I don't understand him. And the funny thing, they changed my boss. Came another boss, again, problem with this figure. This was authority for me. I was not happy with the decision. I was thinking that he was abusing me, make me work in something that I didn't want to do. As well, that he didn't understand me. So that I was not seeing from this boss. And then I say, no, it's not possible. I have bad luck. Again, was talking my mind. And the funny thing, they changed again the boss and same story. So once I had this wonderful opportunity where I met Ram because I changed the company I was working with. I went to another company doing design for microchip for the best mobile phone in the world. So my ego was so high inside. I was suffering. I changed boss, and again I had conflict with him. I decided to go to Egypt because I said, I cannot stay in this country, as the problem was the country. I went to Egypt. Again, I had some issue with the environment. I came back to Europe, and I decided to quit my job because I felt that I had some problem inside, and I understood that it was necessary to work inside. And I can say that I left the job and the country as well with anger inside. I was very angry, and I didn't understand why. That was the point. I was angry. Yes, there was the problem with the boss, but when the boss was gone, I still had problem. I still was angry. I was not talking with my parents. So what was the problem? So I decided to go to another country, but without knowing what to do. So I moved to Bolivia in South America. And there I started to go inside me to find what was the real problem. Okay? When I was in Bolivia, my plan was to stay a few months, and I stayed more than 6 years. Again, I had some conflict and with other people. And what was the funny thing, because I changed my work, I started to teach at university, electronics, telecommunication, because I worked a lot. I was an expert in this field. And you can guess what? I had problem with my boss. Same story. So I start to recognize a pattern. I had problem with authority. I had problem to accept what reality was, and to accept that there are different point of view, to accept that I was not right. There are some truths in the world that can be different from people to people. In Bolivia, I started to try a lot of therapy. I made many courses. And I remember one special day, I was driving a car. And again, when I was driving, I was really mad because I see other people driving like crazy from my point of view of that time. And I was so angry, yelling at them. And I was listening in the car to an audiobook made by Louise Hay. And she said, we are all victim of victim. And immediately I connected this to my parents. In that moment, I started to see my parents in a different way. It was like a breakthrough. Those words started to let me understand that my parents were suffering, that also my parents had a very intense time when they were a child like me. And I started to do some investigation about the life of my parents. Okay, I started to ask other people of my family, like my uncle, my grandfather, because I had a really good connection with my grandfather, to understand I was for them. And then since I start to have a different energy inside me, and we know also from the scientific point of view that we are energy. Everything is energy. Since I shift this energy, I was looking, as I like to say, with the different glasses, not from the anger point of view, not from the victim point of view. I was looking from the compassion, from the understanding. I started to talk to my parents in a different way and ask them how was when they were young, when they were children, and they start to tell me how much they have been suffering, how hard was for them, how they got love or lack of love, I would say, from my grandparents, because this was a period of time in the world and a social period of time where there was not so much communication inside the family. And then I did a step up in my family, trying to understand what happens with the father of my grandfather. And then I saw a different world. Everybody has an history. And many times when we are young, it's true, we are suffering. And it's good to understand that people are behaving in a certain way because they have some internal wounds. Okay? So when I was in Bolivia, as I told you, I started to do many things, to read a lot of books, and there was another sentence I was reading from another book that is from Alejandro Jodorowsky, and I really love this guy, and this has a lot of impact in my life because he said, stop to be a victim, to point your finger against your parents, and start to do to yourself what you wanted that your parents were for you. So he said, from now that you are a grown up, start to be your father, start to be your mother. What does it mean for me? That at this moment I understood that was my responsibility to give myself the love I was seeking when I was young, to love myself in a deep, a very strong way, intense way. And this for me was another change, very important, because now I'm responsible for my life. I cannot blame anymore other person. The important thing is how I treat myself, how I love myself. Okay? Understanding that other people, that our parents have an history, they were suffering, and they are human. Okay? Not blaming outside as I was doing before, not the problem of the boss, the problem was inside. Okay? So this was my story to let you understand how this relationship that I was carrying inside made some troubles in my life. I was talking about the problem I had in my career, relationship with the bosses. But the other funny thing that during this year, I had many problems about my relationship with abundance, with money. And it happened that someone stole my money I lost my money when I was in the street. I met some poor investment. And this was again strange to me. And I was thinking, why I have this problem all these years? Because again, when I started to do this meditation thing, spiritual thing, reading books, many people say you have to go in front of the mirror and repeat affirmation. And what I was doing my job. And then I understood reading and making some course that there is a strong connection between the relationship we have with our mother that represent life, that represent how the universe can give all the resources we have in the universe, this wonderful universe, how we connect with abundance. And the problem was there. I also had a bad relationship with my mother. So this was the field of money. How I was managing money, because as I told you, I was earning a lot, but I was not able to manage my money. And on the other side, I understood clearly that relationship with my father, with the father in general, that represent the figure of authority, can make some problem in how we go inside the world of the job, the career, our relationship with our bosses. But it was not the only problem. At the beginning, I had a lot of problems with self-esteem. This is also something that can come from the relationship we have with our parents. In order to explain you in a deeper way how profound can be this problem, I can share a story of a person I was helping. Already, I was in another phase of my life. I decided to leave the world of the teaching as well at the university, and to do some therapy to other people, to help them in their path, sharing my experience, what I learned in those years. And when I remember I was helping a lady, and this lady came to me because she said that the problem with her body. She said, Fabio, the doctor said that I have to lose more than 20 kilos. She was eating a lot all the time. Okay. And at that time, I was working a lot with the technique called theta healing, that using the theta brain waves that we produce naturally, but we can also induce to produce during the day. And this powerful technique. And I said to this lady, yes, we can work on this. And we did some session, and we were able to change her way to connect to the food, what the food was representing for them, what eating was feeling inside her, because there was some pain inside her. And I was sure, looking at her, that there was a big issue with her mother. But she had a lot of resistance, and she didn't want to go deeper on this. And after, I don't know, I think it was a couple of months, she said, I'm feeling well. Thank you very much. Now I can continue. I say, it's wonderful. This is the perfect way to do, because you have to do what you feel it's good for you. And what happened then? 3 months later, she called me. She said, Fabio, I have again the same problem. I started to eat a lot, and then we start to do another session inside, and now she was open to do more because her pain was so big. And then I remember that through a meditation, we went to a period of time when she was quite young, and she had a lot of sufferings inside, and she was crying and said, I want to be very fat, I want to suffer, because I want that my parents suffer for what they have done to me. They have to understand that I'm suffering, and they are guilty for this. She was like crying and screaming. This was the reality inside. This was something unconscious, but finally this was coming out. It was quite intense also to me to understand how also our health, our body, our physical condition can be influenced by our relationship with our parents, because she was very angry inside, and she wanted revenge. Okay, this is just to understand how our mind sometimes is working without judgment. This is what can happen inside us, and it's important to make a difference of what we know as our reality, something conscious, and what we are not aware, something not conscious. And this was quite important in my life, because I understood how was important to go inside and to work in our subconscious mind to understand what was happening there. If there is in our life some anger, there is some guilt, because this is something that as well we can produce in our relationship with our parents. And also, to my experience, when I was working with some people, was quite common that people asking me help. They had some issue when they were young, because the parents decide to divorce, to separate, and it's quite often that the child feels responsible, and there is some guilt, because the child is thinking that the parents are separating because of him or because of her. because they were fighting for the education of the child, for instance, or because the mother said, you see, I was fighting with your father because you were crying. So those things are, in this period, are installing in the subconscious mind of the children, and they stay all the life. Okay, then, for instance, there can be the tendency of the people as grown up to feel guilty all the time. There is a problem with the husband, for instance, and the first thing the grown up lady can feel or think is what I've done this time, what I've done wrong. Okay, because they are watching with some glasses, as I said, of being guilty, being responsible for the problems, not watching the situation as a neutral situation and trying to understand that the husband as well as some issue. Okay, so those are examples to let you understand how strongly the relationship with our parents can influence our life. So what I would like to ask you now is to stop a moment and to understand right now, as a grown up, which area of my life I would like to improve. Maybe there is something that this is not completely how I would like that that it is. So you can think about relationship if you have with your partner, if there is some trouble for you to getting a job, or you are already having a job and you have some conflict with your bosses, with your colleagues, or social life. What happens with your social life? Your relationship with family. What happens with your body now? Are you happy with your body, with your physical aspect? Are you happy with your identity? This is very important because what happens when we were young has a strong influence on how we see ourselves. Okay, I'm a weak. Someone could say that is a weak that always is doing everything wrong. And really, in my experience, I listen many people say sentence like, "I'm so stupid." Okay, remember, please, that words are energy. Also, word as an energy. Okay, and this we can understand when we use some bad words and nice words. Okay, if we say to ourselves these bad words like stupid, if someone is defining herself or himself as stupid, this is what we are communicating with our brain, and this is something that will manifest in our life, that maybe everybody is treating us as stupid, or we feel we are not able to do what we want, to manifest our dream. Okay, so please, right now, think about an area and When you have it, close shortly your eyes, connect yourself inside to your heart, listen to yourself, and ask yourself if there is some relationship with how you connect to your parents. How is your relationship with your parents? And this issue on the area you are not happy with. If necessary, you can make a deep inhalation and let big what's inside you. Of course, if something is coming out and you feel to share, you can write in the chat and we can talk more specific. Well, so now, after I was living what I told you, experiencing all these things in my life, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, because my mind was sleeping, as I like to say. After I also had the privilege to know many experience of the people I was helping during the session I make for them. I understood one very important thing, very, very important. In order to manifest what we want in our life, is important to align our heart, that means our emotions, our mind, that means our beliefs, and our energy, what we are giving to the universe. Because also scientifically, in every moment, in every space, we are giving energy. So it's very important in order to manifest to have this coherence between what we feel, what we think, what are our beliefs, and the kind of energy we are transmitting to the universe, to other people. Okay? So if we want something in our life, it's very important to understand that there is a why inside, to understand what is the emotion, a pure emotion, what is our why that is moving us to want a specific result. So if, for instance, when there are people that say to me, I want to lose 20 kilos, why? Why so important to you? And many times people say, because it has to do this, because normal people have to weigh a certain amount of kilos. So this is a reason coming from the outside, because someone said, in order to do a good man, a good woman, you have this standard and you have to follow this. Another approach that I was listening on some people was because I want to feel good, because I love myself so much that I want to be healthy, because I love a lot. I remember one lady that say, I love a lot to go to the mountains, to go up, and right now I cannot go. I want to lose those kilos to be healthy and go to the top of the hill and enjoy my life. Can you understand the difference? It's very important, the emotion which is driving you to the result you want. So what's this emotion? Coming from the outside, because when it's coming from the outside, because someone is telling you what to do, usually there is a fear behind. There is a fear that people are not accepting you. Okay? And this is something that usually can happen when we are young and our parents do not accept us as we are. Because many times the parents can say, you are a bad guy, you are a bad girl, you are this way, like way. You can have a look of your brother is doing well and you are not doing good. So the child can feel that is not accepted. Okay. Same thing we can see when we are grow up, and we think that because I have some kilo too much or too less, people will not accept us. This is many times this is not conscious. Okay, so important to understand what is driving you, emotion. Second thing, your beliefs. This is something that they understood. In order to manifest, it's important to understand what are your believing, find out what are your limiting beliefs, and replace your limiting beliefs to some beliefs that are empowering you. Okay? What are limiting beliefs for me? If one person thinks, as I told you before, she's stupid, every time she does something, she does it wrong, coming from the parents. What can you manifest in your life? Of course, bad result. Or if you think inside that you do not deserve love because when you were young, you didn't get love from your parents. Your parents are supposed to be, when we are very young, the person giving the most intense love, because we are here because of our parents. And if we grow up with this feeling inside, many times in our subconscious, that we are not loved, we don't deserve love, when we grow up, we will experience the same thing. And this is very, very important to go and remove this limiting belief, identifying this, and shift it. Now I understood that I was reading briefly a question about thing, so I will read it. Okay, the message I'm getting. Thanks, for developing inside Fabio. I can one work to remove subconscious pattern of children feeling responsible for parent conflict. Very well. Okay. So the first thing, very important, is to be aware of our current situation and to connect to the cause. The root cause of what we are experiencing now is what we have done yesterday, but our yesterday is coming from when we were very young. One technique I use for this, I mentioned before, is the theta healing. And this theta healing produce some theta brain waves that they are naturally produced during the first moment when we go to sleep. What does it mean? Then when we are starting to sleep, we have subconscious mind is coming because we are going to sleep, but we are in a certain way still awake because we can listen to some sound. That means that we have both conscious and subconscious at the same time. Why it's so important to do this? Because you can go to the subconscious mind easily and more directly. Okay? How you get to a theta brain waves? Many people say this you can do through meditation. Usually I help people to go to this state with some meditation, guided meditation. And you get to this state when you are connecting to your subconscious and understand that there is what is your root cause. Okay? This is a way that you can do with the support of someone like a therapist or yourself. If you used to meditate, you can go in this profound meditation and ask yourself, what is the root cause? Where is this coming from? Which belief do I have? Another way, very interesting, is to listen as you are a different person from the outside, to listen to yourself. Listen in a very careful way what you are saying, which words you are using. Okay? I can give you some example. There are people saying, I always have bad luck. This is telling a lot about his or her beliefs. What's bad luck and what is always? When people are talking about always or never, use this word. This is something constant in their life. So there is a belief that always the life will be like this. Someone is thinking, I have this, the life will be like this. Okay? So listen to yourself if it's possible, and I also recommend to write. When you have a feeling or something is not going so well in some area of your life, start to write, and I really recommend to use a pen, not at the computer, not at your cell phone, because there is some different mechanism. You can do it on your a cell phone before, but right, because there is some different pattern of your brain. This is a different mechanism. And when you write, let go everything outside. Okay? And many people say this is good. I use this and I still use it. But many people say that they are not so able to make aware themselves of what they're saying. And my advice here is use technology. Technology can be a really nice thing if we use for ourselves. So you can take your mobile phone and you talk about a topic. You talk, you can record what you're talking. Then the day after, when there is no emotional charge on you, you listen to yourself as you are listening to another person, and you can find out a special word. Okay, for instance, as I told you, a word like I'm not able, I cannot do this, it's impossible for me. All these things can be very, very significant. Usually, to change the limiting belief, I use a methodology. It's quite intense to do. It necessary very intense work, and have some steps. It's a bit long to explain now for the time we have. But if someone is interested, please contact me and we can talk about this. We can think to do a special session and sharing also those steps. But the key point is try to listen to yourself, try to find out where it's coming from. Who told me those things? Okay? Many people, and I'm included, have a bad relationship with money because someone in our family told us that money is a bad thing, that people with money uh, are bad people, or you can get a lot of money only if you are not honest. Those are limiting beliefs that, for instance, our mother, our father told us. Okay? I was reading another question. It is necessary to get along with our parents to heal? This is a very, very, very nice, important question. And the answer I was experiencing is that the very important thing is that you get along, you feel well with yourself. Okay? Because our parents are making another path. This is a different growing or evolving path. And maybe they are not so aware ourselves about the issue we have, the relationship. Maybe they are not ready. Okay? But remember, we are energy. So even if your parents do not want to talk to us, because there is also this, not only like my experience, I didn't want to talk to my parents at that time. Now I'm talking to them. I'm accepting their way of loving me because it's their way. even if different of the way I love them or I love other people. This is love. Thank you very much. Or even if the parents are not living in this world anymore, you can heal your relationship with your parents. This is energy. So, what's the very important thing? If you start to work with yourself, if you find peace inside you, okay? What was making you angry before, now that you are aware that you work about yourself, your inner self, your limiting belief, your emotion, your energy is not bothering you. Short example. My father did not accept that I left the electronic engineer world because I was earning a lot, I studied a lot, I made a master, I was working with the company. And now I can say, after I left this job more than 10 years ago, he's still saying to me, you know, there is a company close to your city that is hiring engineer. Before I was so angry. I realized angry. Now I like smiling. I say, that's interesting. You can say your curriculum vitae if you want. Okay. So if you feel good, even if the parents are not treating you as you would like, you can accept because you are looking at them with with other glasses. They are suffering inside. They have some issue. Maybe their parents, your grandfather, didn't show love to them. They don't know how to love. Okay, they were not able to understand what is going on. There is some anger inside them or guilt inside them, and your parents are still acting in a certain way. But if you are an expression of love, unconditional love, you see them as you can see a baby. Okay? Many times we have a lot of compassion with babies or with a dog. Okay? Now it's very, very funny because I'm not at my house. I'm in the house of my friends because I'm traveling, and they have a very nice dog, small, and sometimes is acting like, we say, like crazy, trying to destroy something. And what do we do with dogs? It's so cute. We are understanding, okay? Or if we think a person with a mental issue, we understand this person as a mental issue, and we don't care if this person is shouting something in the street, maybe insulting people in the street, because we know there is some pain inside, there is something inside. So even if you cannot have a wonderful relationship with your parents, if you are in peace inside, if you work with your anger, guilt, and if you change your energy, if you are vibrating with love, if you are vibrating with gratitude, thank you, Father, thank you, Mother, because of you, I'm here in this world. Thank you because you were teaching me a lot. Maybe we look at the Father, we don't like the way they love or they loved us, and we understand another way to love our children, our sons, our partner. Okay? Sometimes I like to say that parents can be our darkness teachers or masters. But I'm talking about not their darkness, our darkness, because they show us what is our darkness, where it's important that we work inside. Okay? If your father, your mother is making you angry, there is something to heal inside you. Okay? If she said something or is acting in some way and you do not accept this, there is something inside you. Of course, it's important to set some healthy boundary. I'm not saying that you have to talk with them. You can also be in peace and decide, I want to be in peace. Maybe I talk to my father once a week, once a month, because you think this is healthy for you, but not from an anger point of view, not from the guilty point of view. You make a choice based on love for yourself. Okay? I hope this was answering the question they made us. So to close, because we know we are now short in time. I think there was another comment. It's a pleasure. What I want to say, if you want to change reality, if you want to manifest your dream in your life, change your energy. Because if there is anger or guilt or fear inside you, the probability that you can manifest something in your world and that this thing can stay in a long way, in a long time, this is very low. Okay? This is vibration. Anger is vibration. And we know from the physics, the quantum physics, that everything is energy, everything is vibration. We resonate with vibration. If you are connected to love, to gratitude, to joy, you can manifest. So align your emotion, your mind, your energy. And if you do this, you can get a very nice result and you can really enjoy your life. Please remember, we are in this world to enjoy. This is a very nice opportunity for us. And if you change your glasses, as you said, you can change your way of looking at things. There is some love in your parents. There was some love for you. Maybe they didn't express as you like it, but there is love. There is love in everything. Okay? So thank you very much for the space, and it was really a pleasure. If you have any question, you can contact me anytime. So thank you and bless you.
Thanks, Fabio. It was phenomenal the way you shared the journey, and I had a few questions around the beliefs and few things, but you're sharing your real example helped me a lot. Really appreciate you sharing your personal example and different case studies. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. As I told you, then
Definitely, we would like to have a few more sessions going forward, especially with the Breath Universe team. And I know you can't do the justice within 30-45 minutes. We'll have more sessions with you. Really happy for you to be in the team in the sharing your wisdom.
Okay, thank you very much.
Ram, you want to add anything?
It was beautiful, Fabio. Very
Grazie
beautiful.
mille. Thank you very much.
The whole
Thank you for
journey.
having me.
the whole journey, how you have shared your personal journey. And
Yeah.
then, every healing starts with our healing. And how everything outside is a manifestation of how we are inside. And when we change these classes, the examples you have taken, so beautiful and directly touching. So very, very beautiful. The examples you have given, the tools you have shared, like you record, you use your pen. So they are wonderful techniques. And when we listen to our own self, that becomes a pathway to our own greater space. And I really liked as well when there was a question about should I go along with the parents, and the statement, feel yourself better. So very, very, very beautiful, very enlightening, and they are simple. It's like, we have all the tools just near us, and the moment we become aware, they becomes the tools of transformation. So very grateful. I don't know what all I have written. It's wonderful what you have shared today. Very grateful. And as you were talking, Madhu was here as well listening. And she said, you remember when we met Fabio? She was sharing some pictures when we met in 2012, the gatherings and everything. So wonderful, wonderful. So
Thank
thanks a
you very
lot.
much. Thank you
And
very much.
yes, we would like to listen more.
Yeah.
It's such a short time. The flow of love, the flow of wisdom, the flow of energy. We would like to have more. So thank you.
It will be a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Fabio.
You are welcome.
Yeah. Thank you very much.